Hi guys, it's Lisa here from growkidsminds.com. We're on here just helping parents and teachers to get a better growth mindset from the children in their lives. And today I wanted to have a talk about the language that we use. So my philosophy with growth mindset is it really goes in three stages, like a lot of things. It's about how we think, and then it's about the words that we say, and then that leads to the actions that we take. So today I just want to touch on the language side of things, the words that we say. Oftentimes I think as humans and adults, we don't recognize the impact that our words can have. Sometimes they can be meant in one way and taken in a completely different context. And we can see that a lot of times with email, SMS messages, messenger messages, those sorts of things, where we're communicating with each other. But because there's no tonality and there's no real thought, I guess, going into it, we're just talking backwards and forwards, and we know how we think it should sound. It can be picked up completely a different way by another person. Or we might say a sentence and we think it means something, but the other person thinks it means something else. So there's some specific things with kids that we say and language that we can use and that we can listen to them and hear them saying, and that's picking up where their mindset is at. A few things I want to touch on. One, the words that we're saying, it's affecting us not just externally, but also internally. So the words that you're hearing your children say, it's a reflection of things they're thinking about already, right? If it's already coming out of their mouths, it's already gone on up here. So if you're hearing certain words or certain language, there's already thought process around that. So just be aware of that, positive and negative. So the words that we're saying, they affect us internally because they kind of give that extra oomph into believing what we're already thinking about once we've said them. And it affects us obviously externally because then, as I said, it creates that extra impact and extra belief around the words that we're saying. So some negative, I just want to go through a few negative words that you may be saying or hearing your children say, and then how we can flip those around into the positive, and how we can help the kids do the same thing. So a negative or guilt-laden language is often something that makes us feel heavy. When we're saying the words, we're feeling heavy. So we might be feeling heavy internally, we might be feeling heavy externally. Those sorts of words are things like should or should have, can't, didn't, don't know how. Those words, that language, keeps us stuck. We've talked about this before. It makes us more victimized, less in control of what we can do. But it also brings that level of guilt down. Like if I say, oh, I should be at home with the kids right now. Or I can't do maths. I'm no good at it. Those sorts of words, it not only takes away our control in being able to change that, but it's reflecting what we've been thinking, and we're now doubling down on it by saying those words. So we're not just thinking it, now we're saying it, which means we actually start to really believe it. So when you're hearing your children talk about things or saying words like should have, I can't, I didn't, I don't know how, those sorts of things, how do we flip that around and make it into the positive? Well, the main two things I do with kids is the positive. The positive side would be, how can I? So that's one way of flipping it around. I will, so making sure the statements are based on things they will be doing. I have, I do, and we also the yet, which we've talked about before, adding yet onto the end of sentences. So an example of this, this way of turning it around so it changes the language and giving us power. So if I was in that mindset of, I should be at home with the kids, I might change that around and go, okay, well, how can I get home to the kids? So rather than I should be there, how can I get to them faster? And if that's not an option, then it will change to a will statement. I will be home tomorrow. I will see them soon. I will call them, or I will FaceTime them and spend time with them. So it's going away from the problem and thinking about what's my solution for that. So if you're hearing your kids saying words like can't, don't, should have, should, didn't, all those sorts of things, ask them what can they do? What can they do? How can they rephrase that? And then model that with them. So if they're saying, I hate maths, I can't do it. Okay, well, what's really the truth? Well, I can't do this thing yet. Or I have to practice more and then I will be able to. So have to practice more, will be able to. So there's a few different things there. We've got a blog post. You can check out blog post number 17, I think it is, all about language and different types of language that you can use, going from that negative, I can't do anything about it, to that positive, solution-based. And when we start talking about I can, I will, I am able to, I can't do that yet, that's changing the thought patterns up here as well. So you'll start to see the kids pick up a lot more confidence, not more belief in themselves, self-esteem, all those sorts of things. So I definitely encourage. It's such a tiny little thing, but tweaking that can make a big impact. And one other little thing that we do is we'll make a game of it. So if one of our family members hears one of those words, we might add yet onto the end of it, or we will rephrase the sentence for the other person into a positive solution-based sentence. So, you can make that. Most of the time it goes down pretty well unless someone's a bit grouchy, but it makes it a little bit more fun and reminds the other children or adults even that there is another option for the language that they're using. All right, so that's it for me, Lisa at growkidsminds.com. You can find us on pretty much every social media with that same handle. If you haven't already, I recommend downloading the Growth Mindset resource list. You can find that at growkidsminds.com/resources. It's a big, massive 65 plus list of growth mindset tools, videos, posts, all sorts of things for kids of different ages, and there's even some stuff in there for adults. All right, guys, that's it for me this week. Have a great week. I'll see you soon.